Hello friends, Marcy here, and I would like to share with you, as we close out December, my currently inked pens that I use in my planner. This is my Galen Leather undyed zip folio and my Sterling Ink um, common planner. So these pens, some of them go here. I usually keep 4 here, and then the rest elsewhere. So instead of just doing the writing with you, I'm just going to share with you where at the beginning of the months, you can see this one says December. I just record like what inks I have for the month. And let's see, November, I had a lot more pens inked in November, and some of them carried over to December. October, I didn't record all my Octobers, but I did get my Waterman Corinne in October, and I just added it there. But that's just what I do. I just record my currently inks just for myself. I never make videos about it. And then sometimes on my weeklies, I'll record in the margin what pens I have inked, what pens I'm using there. Just so I know which ones are in my spread. So I just keep a record to myself, but I seldom ever share with y'all. I'm sorry. I'm going to start doing that. But just to show you, we have the Pilot Elite 95S, and it is inked with the Yamaguri, Pilot Irisuzuku Yamaguri Walnut, which has become one of my recent favorite inks. I actually had it inked in 3 pens at once. One of them was the Waterman. Actually, the other 2 are empty, and I've recently flushed them. The Waterman Corinne and the Mont Blanc Meisterstück number 12, my vintage pen from the Dallas Pen Show. These 3 pens were all inked. Actually, I had a 4th, but I've already written it dry and changed the inks. But they were all inked with this Pilot Irisuzuku Yamaguri. I tried to make a swatch here with the Waterman Corinne, but it wouldn't write, so I cleaned it. And then I tried the Mont Blanc. It wouldn't write, so it's like, okay, 2 pens I tried there, but the Yamaguri Walnut, gorgeous ink. It dries quickly. I love the performance. My Pelikan M400 brown tortoiseshell is a recent acquisition as well. This is a medium nib, and it is inked with Birmingham Pen Company distressed leather. Let me bring you in closer here so we can enjoy those colors. There you go. The shading ink performs very much like the shading ink in the M400 white tortoiseshell, and this one does have a broad nib. It performs a little differently, but not too much difference there. But my Pelikan inks or nibs, if you know anything about Pelikan nibs, you know that they are wet writers. So the ink in here is Robert Ulster Muddy Bucket. Again, I keep re-inking that same ink with that because I found a favorite pairing. And then we have the Pilot or Sailor Pro Gear. It is Christmas Tea Spice with a medium nib inked with Sailor Yodokai Shikiori. Gorgeous red ink with green shading properties. And the Laban, I just shared it in the other video. The Laban 325 extra fine wisteria purple. I forgot to write purple there. Wisteria purple. Using the Diamine Inkvent Potpourri. And then we have Opus 88 Mini. Again, these were pens that I took with me to school at the very end, but I used them at home as well. Opus 88 Mini, extra fine nib, Cherry Blossom Sakura. And it is inked with Sailor Shikiori Sakura Mori. The Pelikan M200 Golden Lapis in medium. This one it needs to be flushed. It's at its end, and I've been waiting for that so I can clean it out, which I'll probably ink it with the same ink again, but it does need a good bath. Maybe the ultrasonic cleaner to go, but this is a gorgeous golden shimmer on this ink. I love it, and this medium nib performs very well with this shimmer ink. So then we have the Pelikan Star Ruby M205 with a medium nib using the Edelstein Star Ruby ink. The Pelikan Blue Marble with a fine nib, M205, and let me show you closely. If you can look at the line width on the page for the golden lapis, the star ruby, and the blue marble, the first two are medium, and that's a fine, and there's not a lot of line width variation. I can tell while using it, but the Pelikan nibs are extraordinary for putting down the ink. And they're my favorite pens, by the way. TWSBI Black or Smoke and Rose Gold, not black. This one has been inked for several months. And it has the Robert Alster Rose Gold Antiqua, which is a gorgeous sheening ink. And I love to have fun in adding the shimmer to my pages. It's just so much fun using that one. And then, of course, we had the Schaefer Coffee ink Colorverse Coffee Break. That this actually spent time in my planner, in my purse as a carry, and then at school with me. I was just having all kinds of fun with this new pen. I almost forgot these pens I added at the end because I carry this in my tote, and it always has my Lamy 2000 pen, and I have the Lamy 2000 mechanical pencil that I also carry in there. It's always in my tote, and of course when I wanted to do this I had to go round up my pens. And then look, there's another one in here that I forgot to add to my page. This one is also a carryover from October. It is the Susan G. Komen Special Edition Novular or Narwhal Schuylkill pen with a stub nib. I'm going to have to add that here because I know I've used it in my weekly pages. And actually, it's probably, I've received it in October, so of course it wouldn't be on September. Okay, so I'll have to add this one to the bottom of the page. I guess I could do that now. Right here with you. This stub nib is so much fun. So we have the, what am I going to write? Novular or Narwhal? Novular, because they changed their name, but it's pronounced the same. Narwhal and Novular to me are spelled differently, but the pronunciation is the same. Schuylkill, Susan G. Komen, special edition. So stub, and is a 1.1. So the ink is Monteverde Rose Pink. It has a gorgeous purple shading. Rose Pink ink. That's what it says on the label. So cute. Such a fun pen to use. Such a fun nib, especially with the shading ink. So let's go back to where we were. The Lamy 2000. I had to get out of my tote and add it to my list, and it is a Diamine Oxford Blue ink. The Pilot Vanishing Point Decimo Champagne, which I had to get out of my tote as well because it carries inside my undyed planner, and it is an extra fine 18 karat gold nib that I actually wrote it dry just yesterday. I had to ink it, and I added the Pelikan Brilliant Black ink to it. Previously, it had the Yamaguri ink in it. So Then the last mention is going to be the recent acquisition of my vintage pen that I ordered from Etsy. It is a 1977 Pilot Pocket fine nib, and it is inked with the Colorverse Edge of Night from the Day 2 color vent. And it's a lot darker here on the swatch than what comes out of this fine nib on this pen. So the next time I ink this one, I think I'll try a darker ink like the Oxford Blue or one of my many other dark blue inks. But that is currently inked at home with me. And one more honorable mention that did not get on the list. This one's always inked. It's always in my tote. This is the Kaweco Lilliput in a fine nib. It is such a fun pen. Look at that tiny little nib. Such a fun pen. And it is just inked with the ink that comes in the cartridge. Let me see. You know what? It's so trustworthy. I can carry this and it gets lost in the bottom of my tote quite often. I go weeks without even pulling it out, and look, we have gorgeous writing on a fine nib and a cartridge. This pen, for so long, it had to have a cartridge, and I don't mind cleaning and refilling cartridges, flushing them out with a syringe. This would not hold a converter, but they've recently made a converter that will fit the Kaweco. I haven't decided whether I want to purchase it or not, but it has a plunger that pulls up and folds over, so it will fold down and somehow fit inside. I just haven't decided if I want to invest in that, but again, this is such a fun pen to use, you know, a little conversation piece, and I love it. All right, thank you for joining me on my December currently inked, and I look forward to what's coming up in January. I know I want to ink. I have ideas on what kind of themes to do for inking my pens, and I'm awaiting the arrival of my Christmas gift. It still hasn't arrived. Today is Friday, December 27th. I'm still waiting the fabulous Christmas gift my husband purchased me, and I'll be back on a video showing you that soon. In the meantime, thank you for spending your precious moments with me. You have a blessed day. Bye-bye.